Garden Chops with Ben.
Tell me when to stop. Wait.
Whoa.
Good. Slower is quicker. Quicker is better.
Okay, today we're making deer jerky. First thing we're going to do is grab some packages of frozen deer meat out of the freezer. I've got all those marked as deer jerky. They're just undesirable cuts of the deer that you wouldn't make a steak or a roast out of. So we take all those, put them in packages, and then we're going to thaw them out. You don't want to thaw them out completely where they're mushy. You still want them to be kind of firm. That's going to do best in the slicer. It's going to make the best precise slices if your meat is still firm.
Chocolate here.
Okay, so what I'm doing here is just taking a little bit of spray vegetable oil and spraying the rail that this slide goes back and forth on. It's just a trick. It's going to make the slide go back and forth a lot easier. Okay, so once you get your desired thickness, which for me, I shoot for about 1/4 inch thick slices. So when you're running this meat through the chunk of meat through the slicer, you really want to slice across the grain. If you slice it with the grain, it's going to be really stringy, hard to eat. So try to do across the grain. You also want to make sure you slice everything the same thickness. That way when everything goes into the dehydrator, stuff won't cook at different time frames. Everything will be the same thickness and cook at the same pace.
They need a little bit more time. A little bit more. Yeah.
No, I said, why are you putting salt on there?
I love salt on my french fries.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's true. How do I flip it?
Only got a few more slices. Alright, so here you can see the back side of the slicer where the slices of jerky are coming out, and just placing them in the bowl where we're eventually going to put the marinade. Okay, so once you're done slicing, clean the slicer, clean your work surfaces, and get to the next step. This is your bowl of sliced up meat. Now we're going to get ready to put the marinade in. First off, we're going to add some soy sauce, then some teriyaki sauce. A good tip on this stuff here, if you empty out the whole jar, add some water in it, mix it up, and you're gonna get some more flavor out of there. A little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I'm sorry I don't have amounts. I guess after so many years of doing it, you just kind of guess. It's really not equal parts. More teriyaki, less Worcestershire, and then soy somewhere in between. So after you get all of that liquid in, if it's not really covering the meat, you can just add some water. A little bit of water just to make sure all the meat is submerged in the liquid. So now we're going to add our spices. Red cayenne pepper, black pepper, regular table salt. This is seasoned salt. That's garlic powder. This is liquid smoke. And that might be it. Yes, I did just smell the liquid smoke. Hadn't used it in a while, and apparently it has quite the long shelf life. Something like 5 years or something. So here in Ohio, when we make jerky, it's most of the time in the winter time. So the bowl is normally too big for the refrigerator, so I just set it outside in the breezeway where you just want to make sure it's above freezing, and in the 40s and 50s range is fine. And just you want to let it marinate overnight. All right, so now we're just going to place each piece of jerky individually on a single layer on each of these drying trays on this dehydrator. I take some more of that Lowry seasoned salt and some red cayenne pepper and go over each rack once I place all the jerky down. So you're just going to repeat this step. I think there's 4 trays. Until the whole dehydrator is full. Fun fact, the Lowry seasoned salt was actually used back before days of refrigeration, when they would use it for hamburger. When it was shipped on rail cars, the hamburger would stink something awful. So they would add this Lowry seasoned salt to make it edible, and over the years people really come accustomed to the way it tasted, so we still use it today. And no, Sprite did not sponsor this video. Okay, so once the dehydrator is full of meat, we're going to put the lid on. And this is just a simple dehydrator I bought at Walmart, nothing special. We're going to place it on its highest heat setting, which is, I believe, 150 or 60 degrees. I think I show it here in a second, once I drink my coffee. We're going to set a timer on the stove. This jerky looks like 155 degrees. We're going to set it for 4 hours. And about 2 hours into the process, we're going to move the trays around. Take the top to the bottom to the top. Make sure everything is dehydrating evenly. Okay, so you can kind of tell your jerky is done or not just by kind of bending it. If you had some thinner ones, they're going to be really crispy. If you had some thicker ones, they might be on the edge, and you might leave them in for a little bit longer. But once you get your thickness down when you're slicing it, if it's all consistent, then all of this jerky should be done the same time if you rotate your trays. So I just take everything off the trays, put it into a Ziploc baggie, and you want to leave the baggies open for a little bit because it's going to be the pieces are going to be warm and they're going to let off some condensation. So just kind of let them cool with the bags open and then seal the bag shut. All right, so that jerky should last you 2 to 3 weeks. Thanks for watching and enjoy.